Okay.
Right, okay, so you guys played in Madrid last night.
Yes.
How do you think the Spanish crowd reacts to your music, and what do you think differentiates the Spanish crowd from the rest of the world?
Well, considering last night was a Monday night and it was absolutely nuts, the crowd went crazy, so they definitely love rock and roll, that's for sure. Our fans worldwide are pretty similar, really. People who are into rock and roll, they want to come to our show and they know what they're going to get. They just want to come down, get drunk and have a good time. But the Spanish crowd are great. They're just fun crowd to play to. They definitely let off an energy that we feed off to want to play harder and harder. So.
So you guys are from, forgive my pronunciation, Warrnambool, in Australia?
Well done. Yes, not many people get it, but you got it. Yeah, Warrnambool.
So do you think the rock and roll lifestyle is all that it's made out to be, compared to a small town life, or?
It's probably not what people think it was. It's definitely not the 70s and the 80s anymore.
Yeah.
We're pretty working class kind of people, and we're definitely like that with our band as well. We tour hard, we play hard, and we're not doing cocaine backstage and a big drug band. We're a party band. We love to drink and have a few beers, but it's pretty busy, out on the road. Where you're just playing every night, an hour and a half. But I guess you could say we do live our lifestyle. We like to have a few drinks after a show and kind of you live that lifestyle, and you're up and you do that every day when you're on tour.
Do you think you've left the most crazy part of the rock and roll lifestyle behind, all the girls and
I guess there's a lot of that still. It's all there still, I guess, in what you. It just depends. It's really hard. We don't a lot of our time schedules on tour are so busy. We play a show, we have to hit the road straight away. If we've got time, we like to go to the local rock bar and meet the fans and have a few drinks and kind of hang out with them there. And I guess that's the party part. But most of the time, we kind of got to hit the road straight away and get to the next town. So it's just play, go. It's very busy. And when we're home off the road back in Melbourne, we would like to go out to our local rock bar in Melbourne and hang out and have a good time. Yeah.
Cool. Right. Okay, so you said that in recent interviews that you'd like to stick to your sort of style of music, classic rock. You didn't want to vary very much. Do you think your fans will eventually get tired of the sound, or do you think?
I don't think so. It's kind of bands like Motorhead and Iron Maiden and AC/DC. They've stayed true to themselves all the way through their career, and I think sometimes it can be a fatal mistake to change your style too much, because then you lose that hardcore fan base that loved you in the first place. So with our style of music, it is meat and potatoes, just rock and roll. It doesn't need to be changed too much. There's a certain formula that works, and it doesn't need to be changed. I guess we try to be a little bit creative. The last album, songs like Blonde, Bad and Beautiful and Bottom of the World are that little bit different. Things like that.
Small heart.
Yeah, keep
Small
it
speed.
Yeah, that's right. Stuff like that, But most of it would never venture out too far. It would never bring a keyboard in or something.
Okay, how do you think that Brian Howes has influenced on your last album?
Brian Howes was amazing to work with. We were really happy with him. Hopefully he's one of those guys, like AC/DC, Def Leppard had Mutt Lange for a lot of albums. We hope that Brian's going to be that guy for us. We want to work with him in future albums as well. But he was just one of the guys, he just fitted in as an extra guy, as a fifth member of the band. We were able to just collaborate and work with him very well on the same level. He's got the same kind of music influence as us. He loves all the same kind of bands as us. So he was totally on the right page with us with what we wanted to do with the album. So it just worked, He would chuck ideas out with our ideas, and it was just one of those things that just, as a collaboration, worked well together. And he's a singer himself and guitarist, so he was really good with melodies and things. And we worked pretty hard on our own melodies and stuff in pre-production, but Brian was good at cracking the whip down on making sure that you nail your singing parts and all that on the album. So, and just a fun guy to be around,
How do you think that Black Dog Barking has evolved from No Guts, No Glory?
We kind of wanted to. Actually, we wanted to bring Black Dog Barking a little bit more back to how Running Wild was. Running Wild was just a straight out rock and roll album, and being our first album, we had to kind of, it's always your first impression to tell the world this is who we are. And we went a little bit. We kind of sidetracked a little bit with with No Guts, No Glory, like with some different songs. We felt like that's not really Airbourne. We are the just powerhouse rock and roll band. That's what we really are. So we wanted to bring Black Dog Barking back to that kind of feel again. So we just wanted to get in there and just do a 10-track rockin' album, and songs like Hungry and Animalize Me and things like Live It Up. It's just keep it exciting.
Yeah, it's definitely a much faster paced album than.
Yeah. We like to spread it out and have it. You got to have your couple of mid-tempo, slow ones, and then we like to put maybe a few more extra faster ones on them. That's what people like.
Okay. Right. So many bands now are bringing out their own beers, as in AC/DC and Motorhead.
Yep.
If you had your own brand of beer, what would you call it?
It's funny you say that actually, because we've recently been talking to the people that do those brands for fans, and we may bring a beer out, because we are a drinking band. We love wine, we love beer, and whiskey. But so we might release a beer and a wine. But if we do one, we want to do it good and release like a nice wine and a nice beer. We don't want to just put any poison out there, But the Iron Maiden Trooper beer. Yeah. Like, I don't know if you've had that. That's a really nice beer. Yeah. Something kind of like that, but more. I guess. We want to try and have more of an Aussie feel to it. Obviously being Australian, we want to have like a VB kind of. We love VB, Carlton Draft. Just have that style of beer, but with our own little touch to it. So, yeah, we're looking into that.
Okay, cool. What do you think is your favourite festival?
Oh, that's hard, really. They're all so great,
hard decision.
I saw you guys at Download this year, so.
Oh yeah. Well, that was an amazing show. We had an awesome crowd. It was, I think, for the second stage, it was one of the biggest crowds I had all weekend. The way it just went out to the wings and. Download's great. I'd have to say Wacken, because we played there with Judas Priest back in 2011. And nighttime show, we had pyrotechnics, had 90,000 people in front of us, and that was unbelievable. But they're all so great, the Europe festivals, they're so big, they get such big crowds, so they're all fun.
If there was anything you could change about any of your albums or tours, or the way that the band's represented itself, do you think there's anything that you would change that you've done so far?
Nothing that comes to mind. I'm sure there's probably little things here and there. Nothing's ever perfect, but I don't know. This tour's going so great. I wouldn't change anything about this tour. All the shows have been
amazing. Supported bands.
Corroded and Black Spiders, great bands to be out on the road with, and we all get along so well together. A lot of the shows are sold out and have sold really well. So they're just this tour's been really successful for us. So. I wouldn't change anything about this, no.
Do you guys pick your own bands, or does the promoters pick the support bands, or?
Bit of both. Bit of both. We get recommendations, and then we like to try and pick our own. Like Black Spiders have toured with us for years. It's just one of them bands. We're just good mates with them, and I know it's some people might say, do something more original next time, or kind of have someone different, but I think it works well together. We love to take them out on the road with us.
Yeah, it's always a good idea, I think, maybe to have a band that's similar to your own music style, so that the fans stay happy.
It's hard to find that sometimes with a bunch of bands, but Corroded, this is their first tour with us, and they're a great band, great bunch of guys. It all comes down to just how you get along too. Like, if you have a band out on the road with you and they're being drama queens and they're a bunch of dicks, it's just like, well, this isn't going to work,
You're touring in America with different bands like Volbeat and different styles of music. It's good for you for this touring. Go to new bands like the other one. Because you had Black Spider, the first supported band today.
Yeah.
And it's different music, like you play in another countries.
Yeah. Well, when we tour America, we're normally part of another big bill of bands. Like when we were just there recently, Volbeat was the headline band, and then there was him, All That Remains,
different
and
styles.
us, very different styles. Volbeat's a great band. No, we get along good with them, and they're very similar in the performance. To what we do, and we may even go out on the road with Volbeat down the track.
Awesome. We both saw them a couple of weeks ago as well.
They're a good band, aren't they?
Yeah.